BKFC.com.
In the bantamweight division, Mahmoud Ahmed versus Fuad Tarverdi. Our tale of the tape is presented by One Win Sports.
And Sean, you can see, even though Ahmed does have a 2-inch height deficiency, he is 2 inches longer on the reach.
This is the BKFC debut for the fighter from Azerbaijan, Fuad Tarverdi. Tarverdi 10-3 in his pro boxing career. Tarverdi told us, I feel that as a fighter I have a very good mix of intelligence and aggression. I'm a very precise puncher in my pro boxing career, Tarverdi told us. I will use that precision in this, my BKFC debut.
And he thinks he's better at all ranges, inside, outside. Feels like he's a complete fighter. He wants to showcase those skills tonight.
Tarverdi also told us, I want a very measured round number 1. If this fight goes to round number 2, then I will slowly turn up the pressure.
Feels like he has a lot more power than his opponent. He's faster. Feels like he's going to utilize a lot of uppercuts, right hands to the head, to the body, everything if he gets inside.
Of his opponent in this bout, set for 135 pounds, Mahmoud Ahmed. Fuad Tarverdi said, I think he is really an MMA fighter. I am a boxer. I believe that I have vastly superior striking.
Well, like you said, Sean, he wants to make sure he's stepping things up after the first round.
Mahmoud Ahmed made his BKFC debut November 2023. He defeated Florin Lupu by unanimous decision.
Look at these uppercuts. Bomba Ahmed does a great job of finding openings and landing hard shots. Definitely feel like he can do anything. He likes to wait till the openings to present himself, and then doesn't matter where they are. If they're the body, he will land. If the head, he will land. He's going to wait for what his opponent does and take what he's being given. That's what he does in this fight. Just a lot of hard right hands, left hooks, everything landed. If he lands hood punches, he feels like he's going to do a great job in this fight and knock his opponent out.
Mahmoud Ahmed enters 1-0 in BKFC. The Egyptian has also had 14 pro mixed martial arts bouts. Ahmed told us in our fighter meeting, I am focused on being very reactive and very smart in this fight. I will intelligently exploit openings, and I'm going to throw a wide variety of punches.
It feels like he's going to be stronger and faster than his opponent. And what I talked about earlier, he's going to expose weaknesses. Every hole he sees, everything he's going to go after, he's going to make sure he capitalizes on those mistakes. And he doesn't do anything to keep himself in trouble. He's just taking what his opponent gives him.
Ahmed told us, I believe Fuad Tarverdi will come forward. I cannot be stationary. I have to flow between ranges. I have to use what I believe is my superior foot and hand speed.
And in doing so, he has to circle. He can't back straight up, giving himself advantage by continually moving, making his opponent try and chase him down.
Once again, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Presented to you by One Win Sport. Introducing to you first. Fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 134.2 pounds. He holds a pro boxing record of 10 victories opposite 3 defeats. And tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Azerbaijan, here is Fuad the Flash Tarverdi. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears blue and gray. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. His official weight, an even 136 pounds. He holds an undefeated BKFC record at 1-0. Fighting out of Egypt, here is Mahmoud Ahmed. And our referee in charge of the action, Brian Miner.
Mahmoud Ahmed told us, I'm going to keep throwing body to head. I'm going to keep circling on the outside. Brian Minor bringing both fighters up to scratch. Tarverde now still on the scratch line. Sporting touch of hands, round number 1. Dark blue and gray trunks for the Egyptian Mahmoud Ahmed. Black trunks for the fighter from Azerbaijan, Fouad Tarverde. The feint from Tarverde. It's again from Tarverde. It's high and tight for Ahmed on his back foot. Talk to us about being reactive. He's trying to react now to the forward pressure of Fouad Tarverde, who's being very methodical in the center circle. You see the feint. Just thought about going overhand right, pulled it back. Good jab again from Tarverde. Good pull on the Ahmed overhand right. Swing and a miss. The reset.
Tarverde just stalking his opponent. Hasn't thrown much yet, but it looks like he's setting things up.
Tarverde long on the jab, then the good pull. 60 seconds remaining, round number 1. Extremely measured is Mahmoud Ahmed. Extremely measured is his opponent, Fouad Tarverde.
And just look at these feints. This is a beautiful job of really trying to fill your opponent out.
Jab to the body.
They both know you have to be smart in this fight. You can't just go in and wing punches.
See the catches over and right. There's a clipping right hook. Ahmed landed that. The jab goes Fouad Tarverde. Step from Ahmed. 25 seconds remaining, round number 1. To the body on the step in.
Ahmed's starting to feel it at this point.
Right now in southpaw on the feint step. See the hand fighting. Tarverde staying in orthodox. Second whack acknowledged by Brian Minor. Very late here in round number 1. There's the duck under. Right hook just off the mark for Mahmoud Ahmed. We move to round 2.
And you can see the confidence in that last half of the round for Ahmed. This being his second bare knuckle fight, you feel like he really feels like he's starting to understand it a little bit more. Understand the rhythm, the flow, the range. That was the first round for Tarverde. Let's see if he can get a little more comfortable as this fight goes on. You see the stalking pressure early, but it wasn't able to throw much. Just that feel-out process. It's a different animal. Both these guys know it. If you go in, watch the first few fights, how many wild, hard shots were thrown and landed. The fight's over pretty quickly once you land.
Absolutely stunning here in Dubai, here at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Stadium. BKFC debut in the United Arab Emirates. Round number 2. Fake step from Ahmed. Double jab from Tarverde.
I like the explosion. Ahmed coming in.
Oh, big swings. There's the left hook getting through from Ahmed, and down goes Fouad Tarverde.
Tarverde acting like I wasn't knocked down.
6, 7.
See the protestations from Fouad Tarverde as he takes the mandatory 8 count from Brian Minor.
Let's see if that lights a fire under Tarverde.
Ruled as a knockdown. This swings again from Mahmoud Ahmed. Ahmed started this fight in ortho, sitting in southpaw. He made that adjustment late in round number 1.
Continues to adjust.
Now back to orthodox for the Egyptian Mahmoud Ahmed. It's a slip from the Azerbaijani Fouad Tarverde and ruled as such by the American Brian Minor. Forward now to the body, and the right hook goes Tarverde.
Tarverde doing a good job of trying to duck on the punches, but he's still getting hit.
Ahmed on the right hand. Playfulness now from Mahmoud Ahmed.
And if you watch the other fights for Ahmed, he does a great job of landing uppercuts.
45 seconds remaining, round 2. Tarverde staying on his back foot. Ahmed on his front foot. The duck under, there's a big left hand from Mahmoud Ahmed. Fake step again from Ahmed. Tarverde in and out. the mid-range. See the finger wag from Ahmed.
Ahmed talking a lot to his opponent. Very confident in Ahmed.
But now waving Fuad Tarverdi forward. Tarverdi talking right back. On the hook jab from Tarverdi. Final seconds, round number 2. Mahmoud Ahmed versus Fuad Tarverdi. There is the bell.
That was impressive at the end of the round. You see the way Ahmed utilized some head movement, got out of the way of a punch, and fired back immediately. That's how you get a lot of good punches and get a lot of good knockouts in this sport. When someone throws or opens, Ahmed saw that, threw a punch, didn't land it, but when that punch lands, it's going to do damage because you don't see it coming. Tarverdi really has to change up his game at this point. When he was early in the fight, he was using some very good stalking pressure, mirroring his opponent's hip, getting right in front of him. He can't continue to go at this rate. He got knocked down in that round. He just isn't winning any of these exchanges, Sean.
Round number 3. Immediately to the jab goes Fuad Tarverdi. Jab. It's on the overhand right from Ahmed. Much bigger swings, bigger punches landed to this point in the fight, Chris, than from the Egyptian Mahmoud Ahmed.
And I like the way Ahmed, he's using head movement and exploding in with hard shots.
Jab off the mark from Tarverdi.
Really pushing off that back foot is Ahmed to get inside.
In and out goes the Azerbaijani Fuad Tarverdi. It's the right hand from Ahmed. Switch of stances in the center circle, back to orthodox in the overhand right. And then right back to southpaw. Fast rear right hand from Tarverdi.
Both these guys have excellent head movement.
See the playfulness from Ahmed, eluding that leaping left hook of Tarverdi. Mockingly looking away. Head movement to the mid-range now from Fuad Tarverdi. Tarverdi trying to turn up the temperature. There's the counter from Ahmed with the right hand.
This is exactly what Tarverdi needs to do. He needs to corner his opponent and throw bombs, throw some hard shots.
Overhand right. Little elusiveness from Ahmed.
And Sean, he is throwing some hard shots, but he needs to turn those under, throw them to the body or some uppercuts. You go over the top, Ahmed's going to dodge them every time.
Ahmed circling out. Told us he would continually circle in this fight. He's done so, but aggressively, not defensively.
And when he's circling close. When you circle far away, you get away. He's not able to land a shot. He wants to get in his own punches, just like you see in this situation.
15 seconds remaining, round number 3. Shuffle step from Mahmoud Ahmed. Jab off the mark for Tarverdi, right hand off the mark. See more playfulness from Ahmed. Next stop, round 4.
That's interesting. Let's see what the judges think about how the end of that round went. Tarverdi threw a couple of punches. He backed his opponent up and he stood in the middle and put his hands up, saying, "Let's fight. You're running away." Will that be enough to influence the judges? I feel like Ahmed's still doing an excellent job of using head movement, avoiding a lot of hard shots. Tarverdi does his best work when he pushes his opponent backwards, gets him up against the rope if he can, and throws punches.
Fuad Tarverdi told us, "I want a very measured round number 1. I will turn up the pressure if this fight goes to round number 2. Set for round number 4, Chris, we will see if Fuad Tarverdi really turns up the pressure now. One knockdown in this fight, although it was disputed by Tarverdi, but he was dropped by Mahmoud Ahmed in round number 2. Big step in right hand off of the left hook for Ahmed.
There's that great jab that Ahmed keeps doing. He leaps in, uses his head movement, push off that back foot, and lands hard shots.
Right hand again. Looking for the up jab was Tarverde. Fast jab now from Tarverde. Jab again.
So there's usually a couple ways to get inside. You can use head movement, you can push off that back foot. Ahmed's doing both.
Right hand on the entry from Mahmoud Ahmed.
That's why those punches keep landing.
Right hand. 80 seconds remaining, round number 4 in this bantamweight fight. Right hand from Tarverde did not fully turn it over. Chris, we're seeing Fuad Tarverde continually pumping the jab and the hook jab. He's just not landing a lot with those punches. That landed that left hand from Ahmed.
Well, I did see Tarverde try to throw an uppercut for the first time. I think that's going to be a big punch for him.
Continuing to sit on that powerful rear right hand. He's been flowing from southpaw to orthodox. As you see in ortho now, there's the right hand. And right back on cue to southpaw. That was clever. Jabbed in the hook to the body with the right hand from Tarverde.
And that's where Tarverde is really starting to do better with those uppercuts. You can't get out of the way of an uppercut to the body.
30 seconds remaining, round 4. Both fighters back to the center circle. In and out movement from Fuad Tarverde. The right hand, the naked landing. There's the naked rear left hand from Ahmed. Late here in round number 4. That rear left uppercut landed from Mahmoud Ahmed. Clever and effective. We move to the 5th and final round.
Both fighters landing good punches. I feel like Tarverde is really starting to understand the sport better, get his range. I like that he started to quit throwing those overhand rights. He's going right over his opponent's head because Ahmed's ducking. You throw uppercuts, you throw the body, you cannot duck underneath those shots. Here we see a good entry from Ahmed. I talked about him pushing off that back foot, utilizing head movement. We ask our fighters often, how are you going to plan on getting inside? They usually have an answer, but when you use both of those to perfection like Ahmed is doing, you land and you get right back out.
Confirmation that the 5th and final round is upon us.
Round 5, gentlemen, round 5. Let's go on the line. On the line.
There's been talking between these two fighters. Through the first 4 rounds, there have been some histrionics from both. Great sportsmanship. Round 5 underway. Overhand right off the mark from Ahmed. There's the aggression, the explosion in from Mahmoud Ahmed.
He does that very well. When he explodes in, he lands almost every time.
Tarverde to the back foot, left hand. And that's rolled and slipped by Brian Miner.
Good call. That was caused by the bodies running into each other, not the punch.
Jab from Tarverde, not there. Overhand left from Ahmed, not there. And that is ruled a knockdown on the left hand.
That was a left hand, I believe, by Tarverde.
We are at 1 knockdown apiece.
That just changes everything, Sean.
Looked to be an accidental clash of heads before the left hand.
Tarverde's going for the knockout at this point.
Big left hand now landed by Fuad Tarverde.
Tarverde feels like this is his opportunity. He can't let it go. Point it on.
1 knockdown apiece. Tarverde opening up. This is the most aggressive that he has been in this fight.
He needs to throw that right uppercut again. That's the open shot.
Ahmed now on his back foot. Tarverde to the body. Ahmed trying to time that right uppercut.
And look, Tarverde not letting his opponent get away, just mirroring the hips, trying to keep him to get away.
Check left hook for Tarverde. 30 seconds remaining in this fight. The momentum was with Mahmoud Ahmed. Now it is fully with Fuad Tarverde. From Ahmed. 15 seconds to go. On the left hand. Left Took right back from Ahmed.
These guys have a lot of talk at the end of this fight. I love it.
Step from Ahmed. That is the end of the fight.
You gotta love the respect shown at the end of the fight. During it, you wouldn't know they were really talking to each other during that round. And here's a look. I think it was that left hand that did the damage.
Chris, the heads came close. I don't know if there was a full clash of heads.
I don't think there was, but I definitely think the left hand landed.
Without a doubt, the left hand is what caused the knockdown. There might have been an accidental clash of heads before, but that does not matter in that sequence. The left hand was clean.
Yeah, if you land the left hand, that's what he determined caused the knockdown, not if there was any kind of a small headbutt. But that really changes that fight, Sean. I mean, that evened it out with the knockdowns, I should say.
Our strike stats presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink.
I mean, Sean, look how even that is. Two punches different in attempts, one punch different landed. Very close. I mean, obviously most of these head strikes, but still very close for both fighters.
Ahmed dropping Tarverde in round number 2. Tarverde dropping Ahmed in round number 5.
Will be interesting to see the scores. I felt like the first few rounds were definitely Ahmed. Tarverde picked it up in the third. Was it enough to win the fight? Wouldn't be surprised to see a split in this one, but who knows?
The judges tonight have been assigned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, headed by the outstanding Mike Mazzulli. The 3 judges' scorecards have been tallied. To end all suspense, we go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 5 rounds, our judges at ringside send in a split decision. Judge Peabody, 47-46 in favor of Ahmed. Judge Ali, 47-46 in favor of Tarverde. And Judge Jankowiak, 47-46 to the winner by split decision, Mahmoud Ahmed.
Sean, just as I thought, a very close competitive fight. Ahmed got the decision. Great battle between these two fighters.
All 3 judges seeing it 3 rounds to 2. The dissenting judge having it 3 rounds to 2 for Fuad Tarverde. The 2 judges in the majority seeing it 3 rounds to 2 for Mahmoud Ahmed, who is now 2-0 in BKFC. Both fighters had their moments, both recorded a knockdown. Ahmed recording the knockdown in round number 2, Tarverde recording the knockdown in round number 5. The winner by way of split decision, Mahmoud Ahmed defeats Fuad Tarverde.